The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good.
Doing good. Well, we've got a guest on the phone with us. Why don't you introduce him and let's get started.
It's Tuesdays with Tillery. We've got State Senator Blake Tillery on the phone with us. Blake, always good to talk to you. A couple more weeks left to go in the session. Be out there by Easter, but give us an update of what all's taking place this week.
Yeah, day 33 was yesterday, so 7 more days to go. So it's today's kind of like the calm before the storm. It's a committee day. Committee meetings have already started this morning, and we'll run through pretty late in this afternoon, probably until about 8 or 9 tonight, if you have, with the judiciary committees and the finance committees. Getting the last bills ready to go to the floor for the last few days of session. I've got a few in committee this morning. One deals with foster care, really trying to speed up the ability of the courts to terminate parental rights when necessary to promote a child being eligible for adoption. And then 2 others, one dealing with technology and notaries. Some folks wonder why you still have to get a wet notary stamp on documents. And could that be electronified, I guess, an e-notary bill? And then also a bill that deals with direct action, which is a tort reform measure that we've been able to get through the Senate. It's been kind of stuck in the House for a little bit, and I think it'll probably move in a House committee today. On top of that, we still got a bunch of budget stuff pending. We got the budget about a week late. That's okay, but it's going to put us in a bind as we try to finish up there at the end.
Well, that budget's the one thing that has to be approved, so it's going to come down to the last couple of days.
Yes, it looks like it. It takes about 16 days to run through the Senate committees and then through our 30 members and get to the floor. So if you take it from the day that we got it from the House, which would be last Thursday, 16 days will put us on day 39, which is pretty darn tight. It might, that might not, I don't know what we're going to do this year, but we'll get it figured out.
It is an election. It is an election year. Did you qualify to run again for another term?
I did.
Anybody running against you? I know Stephen came unscathed, but I heard somebody's running against Buddy DeLoach. But how about you? Anybody qualify against you?
No, sir, not this time. I think this is the first time I think I've been unopposed. So
that's good news, right?
That's right. Well, it is, but I guess it makes things a little bit easier. I mean, we're obviously expecting a baby in May, so it makes it a little bit easier for. I'm sure Ashley Nicole will appreciate it, but I don't mind it. It does make you get out and keep talking to folks and figure out what's going on. Probably makes you a better legislator.
Don't really hear much going on with the lady. It must be quiet. Everybody must be getting along. I don't hear any controversies taking place up there in Atlanta.
Oh, well, then we're doing a good job of keeping it quiet, I guess. There's a bunch of big news. Of course, you saw the announcement from Rivian. That's big. That changed some of our budget projections, so we had to go back in, and obviously we will make some changes based upon that announcement. And then, of course, you got a few other things that have happened up here relating to violence, gangs, which aren't just a big city problem. We're having significant issues in the cities of our district related to gang violence. And then, of course, immigration, which still is, by the Constitution, a federal issue. But when the feds stand back the way they have, it's become a local issue.
Well, what can be done locally? Is there any legislation being proposed?
Yes, sir, significant. I dropped a bill about 2 weeks ago. It did not make it through, but we're still going to probably try to tag it onto something else that says, hey, if you want to hold yourself out to be a sanctuary city and not honor the immigration laws of the nation and the state, then you open yourself up to the liability that could come if someone's here illegally and does something that hurts other people. Think about it in the context of Lincoln Riley. Athens was holding itself out as a sanctuary city, which now they say they're not. And their actions as a sanctuary city is what led to Lakin's death. Then the city could be liable for that, or the sheriff's office could be liable for that if not enforcing the laws of the state. We got to do something drastic. Maybe people that are listening will think that's drastic, but if you don't do something drastic, we're just going to get the same status quo. And I don't think that folks in our area are comfortable at all with the status quo.
And if you're just joining us on the phone, which is with us is State Senator Blake Tillery, Tuesdays with Tillery. Again, well, I guess as it winds down, you'll see a lot of bills try to be pushed through late. Is that correct?
They will reemerge at times. So some of those that have stalled right now, there's a bill that relates to independent pharmacists, local pharmacies, and they feel like they're getting shafted by something called PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers. I think you'll probably see that bill move at the end. We actually were talking about it later last night. The bills that I mentioned to you on immigration, I expect you'll see moving. The state income tax reduction, I think it'll pass out of the Senate Finance Committee today. We were looking at whether or not we could do more right now, and I think that the plan right now is that we're going to focus a lot more energy on property tax relief. So expect you'll see some bills that have already passed the Senate that are in the House that may get amended on the House bills that are in the Senate relating to homeowner homestead exemption. There's a move to say that the property taxes can't increase by more, or your property assessment rather, not your taxes, can't increase by more than 3% each year. I would prefer a floating homestead exemption where your homestead is frozen a year after your purchase, and the value is. But I don't have enough votes for that, so I may have to go with a 3% route instead. It's not my preference, but it's better than what we're dealing with currently.
And how about the mining issue at Okefenokee? Anything on that?
So those bills did not make it out of the House. There's some chance that they could be amended onto something here in the Senate, but you have to have a bill that's in those code sections to amend onto. And right now, I don't see a clear path for those. That is a significant issue. What we have done instead is we put some budget money towards, can be used towards acquisition or potentially otherwise strengthening the state parks in that area to highlight it and make it more of a Department of Natural Resources state park protected area. I don't think that stops a mining issue, but it is. If we couldn't get a bill, what we can't do in bills, we'll do in budget.
Will the feds step in with that? Will the senators or congressmen try to help with that issue there with Okefenokee Swamp Park?
I do not know what they can or will do on that, but what I would say is that I've seen some comments that maybe came from the U.S. Department of Interior, which I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what the U.S. Department of Interior does. So you might have to ask Buddy Carter or some of those guys that, but I understand there was some comment that they made recently that
I
at
read
least
that.
make folks think they might step in.
Yeah.
And all the gambling issues dead?
No.
No?
Sports betting passed the Senate over my opposition, but it passed the Senate and it's in the House. So I don't know what they're going to do with it.
All right, Blake, what are the odds of anything passing in gambling this year?
Oh, you're funny. That's good.
Still 50-50.
What kind of odds you give it there, Blake?
Still 50-50.
I think they're better than 50-50. Again, it's not something that I supported, but I do see where the House has generally been the easier body to get that through than the Senate, and it's already come through the Senate. So, does the House lock down because of a different reason? Who knows? That can always happen. Remember, everyone who thinks that they want to build a pass up here, remember that it is extremely difficult. Our founding fathers developed this system in such a way that passing a bill is the more unlikely scenario to get it through both bodies and then in the exact same form and then get it across the governor's desk. There's a lot of chances for it to fail. It has to be absolutely perfect for it to pass.
Yeah, that's what people need to understand. Just because the bill passes, and guess the governor still has to sign the bill. That's the final step. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is true, unless it's a constitutional amendment. But remember, it's got to pass both chambers unanimously. So, for instance, there was a bill about swatting. Swatting is when people call the police and you say, "Hey, there's something horrible happening at Bob Morgan's house. You need to get over there immediately." In an attempt to make the SWAT team show up so that when you come to the door, you're scared, they're scared, and something bad can happen. Marjorie Taylor Greene's been swatted several times. Some of our senators have been swatted here. The lieutenant governor's been swatted at least twice.
Wow.
But even that bill couldn't pass unanimously in the exact same form. When it went over to the House yesterday, it caught an amendment. So it's got to come back to the Senate to see if it can pass again. And again, just because of the volume of things on the last 7 days, that while that bill may pass, it also may not, simply because it has an amendment that means the language wasn't exactly the same.
Okay, but we'll keep on watching all those. Again, appreciate you calling in. Again, I know you'd like to hear from your constituents. So, again, anybody listening in has a question or comment, or what's the best way to get a hold of Blake Tillery?
Yeah, right now, the last few days, please feel free to call up here to the office if you'd like, 404-656-0089, or you're more than welcome just to send me a text personally. It's 912-245-9915 is my cell phone, and folks have used that. I will tell you, it gets a little bit harder the last few days here to respond as quickly, but sometimes when you're sitting in bed at 11:30 or 12 at night going, what the heck happened? Well, I can respond to you then, whereas I'm probably not going to call you quite that late. So feel free to send me a text or give me a call if you need to.
Okay, Blake, well, again, always good to hear from you on Tuesdays with Tillery. Again, stay safe in Atlanta, and appreciate you calling in.
Thank you, guys. I hope you have a good day.
All right, thank you, Blake.
All right, State Senator Blake Tillery here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. We've got a guest in the green room. More of the world-famous Butch and Bob show in a moment.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast.
Good morning, everyone. A bright start to our Tuesday morning. Sunshine around today. Highs are going to be in the low 70s. Will be partly cloudy tonight with a low close to 50 degrees. Tomorrow for Wednesday, sunshine as we move into the mid-70s. And Thursday, we'll stay that way with sunny skies. Friday, a few more clouds around. And Friday, a few more clouds around with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Georgia meteorologist Laura Huckabee in the GNN Weather Center.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties since 1998. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the local nonprofit hospice in Wayne County. Our administrative office is located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard, and Hospice of South Georgia accepts anyone who meets hospice criteria, regardless of their ability to pay. Please call 912-588-0080 to speak with someone about hospice care. That was 912-588-0080. We are your hometown hospice, and we are here to serve you. Hospice of South Georgia, working to add life to your days.
105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. We continue on with the world-famous Butch and Bob show. And from Jesup Church of God, we have Sylvia Phillips in this morning. Good morning, Sylvia.
Good morning. Glad to be back. How are you?
Oh, we're doing fine.
Good,
We're
good.
doing just good.
I woke up and that weather was so cold. It was cold in the house. I turned the heat back on. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And then it's going to be high today of 73, so it'll be heat in the morning and air conditioning in the afternoon, at least here for the radio station because we have office equipment and it gets so warm. But can't let the folks up front freeze out this morning, so I do have the heat on 68.
Well, I appreciated
and that's
it.
that's as high as I'll go with it because more than likely this afternoon I'll have to turn the air on because of all the equipment here at the station. But I know you're not in here to talk about heating and air conditioning.
No,
so
sir.
Tell us what's going on with Jesup Church of God.
I'm here because one of my favorite events that we host for the community is happening this month, and that's our Easter Egg Experience. And we've done it several different ways. We've done it on Saturdays, and one year we did it at Bill Morris Park. But this year we're going to host it on Sunday. That's March 24th, which is actually Palm Sunday. And we're going to host it immediately following our church service there at the Jesup Church of God. It's going to be really a great time, and I'd like to tell you about it in case anybody's available to come.
The air time is yours. Use it.
Cool. Well, we're going to have food trucks assembled in our parking lot immediately following the morning worship service, so people could bring a picnic lunch, or they could choose to purchase their food from the food truck. We feel like that's going to be a really great way for families to get together, just have a really casual, fun environment. And we'll have inflatables and games, and then 4 giant egg hunts. And so our church family has donated lots and lots of candy, and volunteers have been stuffing the Easter eggs. And this year we're going to hide over 6,000 eggs. So we are super excited about that.
They're on the grounds of Jesup Church of God,
yes,
right?
they're at the church property. So there'll be eggs with little prizes in them, eggs with candy. And then, of course, the kids always want to know, will there be money eggs? The answer is yes, there will be money eggs. And then the best egg to find, those are the empty eggs, because that reminds us that the tomb is empty, which is the reason we celebrate Easter. And if they find an empty egg, it corresponds with a big prize basket full of treats and candy and all kinds of Easter gifts. So that'll be really fun.
Okay. And that's coming up on what date again?
It's going to be Palm Sunday, March 24th, and it'll be immediately following that morning service. But starting this coming Sunday, as we lead in, we're going to have a virtual scavenger hunt to promote it in our community. So every day, starting this Sunday the 17th, we're going to hide an egg somewhere in Jesup, and we're going to put out a clue on our church Facebook and our church Instagram. And anyone in the community can play this community egg hunt. So you'll read that clue, think about where in Jesup it might be located, and if you find the Easter egg, you'll bring it to the church any day next week and redeem it for a prize basket.
Is that going to be each day?
Yes, each day.
From what date to what date?
Starting Sunday the 17th and going all the way through Saturday, March 23rd, and then the big egg hunt on March 24th. So a whole week of hunting eggs in our community, landing on that Sunday the 24th for the big one.
Okay. Well, sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. We've got lots of gift baskets donated by local businesses in our community. So everybody's been really great to sponsor, help us make this fun for kids, something great for them to do as we celebrate Easter.
All right. Sounds like a lot of fun there at Jesup Church of God. Just check out their Facebook page and you can learn all about it.
Yes, sir. I hope everybody will play, and I'll look forward to seeing some great pictures online.
Yeah. Bob, any questions or comments for Sylvia this morning?
Good luck.
You going to hunt for an Easter egg with us this year? I hope you can find one.
I don't think so.
All right.
A bit of ballpark.
Be the ballpark.
Well, I don't want to give any clues away, but you might have helped us.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with the
Thanks.
virtual Easter egg hunt and the Easter egg hunt there at your church on the 24th. Is
Yes,
that right?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Thank you.
At Jesup Church of God, right there at the end of Orange Street in Jesup, across from the new $24 million school and counting, James E. Bacon. You're marking there's just laughing.
Yes.
Did I say I just thought that. Did I say that out loud?
Yes, sir.
I did. I didn't mean to.
It is a beautiful school.
It is a gorgeous school, isn't it? Jesup Church of God there on Sunset Boulevard at Orange Streets in Jesup. All right.
Thanks so much. Gonna have a great time. Y'all have a wonderful day. I hope it warms
right.
up.
All right. More of the world famous Butch and Bob show in a moment.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast.
Good morning, everyone. A bright start to our Tuesday morning. Sunshine around today. Highs are going to be in the low 70s. Will be partly cloudy tonight with a low close to 50 degrees. Tomorrow for Wednesday, sunshine as we move into the mid-70s. And Thursday, we'll stay that way with sunny skies. Friday, a few more clouds around. And Friday, a few more clouds around with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Georgia meteorologist Laura Huckabee in the GNN Weather Center.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIF. Sometimes, we think things in our brain, Bob, and it just comes out through our mouths.
Understand.
I know I got laughs from everybody here at the station when I said that. Just making fun, having a good time. Nothing serious about it. We just have a good time here on the world famous Butch and Bob show. So, I didn't want to rustle any feathers this morning. All right, we got a big game today for the Wayne County Yellow Jacket varsity baseball team.
Region play finally kicks in today. 5:30 is the start time due to Burke traveling from Waynesboro. We'll be over there on Friday for the doubleheader, 4:30 and 30 minutes after game one. So, first series set to get underway. So, come out and support the Yellow Jackets. Congrats to Arthur Williams yesterday. Big 9-0 win over Ware County at the Bill Morris Park, and they'll play for the championship Thursday over in Pierce County. As soon as we get the official time on that, it should be 4:30. Coach Osteen says they haven't set the official time yet for that championship game over there in Blackshear, but we'll have that for you tomorrow here on Local Sports. But big win yesterday over Ware County 9-0. So Arthur Williams and Pierce, number 1 and 2 seeds, play for the championship on Thursday over in Blackshear. And the Falcons got their new quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
They did.
Man, Arthur Blank put out a bunch of money.
He wrote a big old check, didn't he?
Guaranteed
$100
$100
million.
Could be $180 million.
It could be another 80 on top of that.
Wow.
Before it's over with.
It's unreal. We'll see how it all pans out. Like I said, hopefully he recovers from that injury. So, but that's who they targeted, and they landed him. Didn't take him long. Once he hit free agency, he signed quickly with the Falcons. So.
Yes, he did. So hopefully Kirk Cousins will, he'll recover from that surgery from the end of last year and come out there and be a good quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. They need one.
Yeah, definitely.
They got a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
Just got to get it all
Definitely
in sync.
Definitely an upgrade from where they were last year. So Falcons fans should be excited. So you wearing your Falcon jacket there. You must have got excited last night.
No. I've had this one right here for a while, and so I'm having a lot of lower back issues. So that's the reason why you see me in warm-up pants instead of dress pants with a belt. Because when I wear a belt around my pants there, it really hurts my lower back with a bulging disc from L1 to L5. So sometimes I just got to wear pants that got elastic in it instead of a belt. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm casual. This is casual. It was actually casual Monday
Tuesday,
and now casual Tuesday. And it could be casual Wednesday tomorrow if my back continues to hurt like it does.
Reminder, Election Day. Get on out and vote. So
that's right.
Looking forward to going out and vote. Yep. Continue the 1 cent penny.
It's what is being asked for folks to do today, and it's what the county government and city governments here in Wayne County are asking you to do is continue the penny, and the Chamber of Commerce is also asking that or supporting it. And then, of course, you got the presidential, but there's nothing really to vote for there.
It's already been decided.
It's already been decided, It's amazing. I mean, you're just a few weeks into the presidential campaign, and it's over with. You have your repeat of 2020. Yeah, just the two guys back at it again. I know this has happened in the past in America, but not very often. And so it'll be interesting to see how it all goes, and how nasty it's going to get. My word. You can't talk about your accomplishments. You got to spend over half of your time cutting down the other person, and that's just, I don't know. And these are supposedly our president, our commander-in-chief, the leader of the free world, and they're throwing mud, lots of mud, at their opposition on both sides. But it's been that way since people ran against George Washington in his second term. Now, he didn't have it. You're like, oh yeah, everybody gonna vote for George. Well, they didn't. There was political parties being formed then. People had different ideas, and then after 2 terms, he said, he could have stayed on for 3-4 as long as he wanted, but he decided he wanted to go back to Mount Vernon and be a gentleman farmer again. You learn a lot when you watch the History Channel, Bob. I didn't remember that from high school and stuff like that. We did have a text today, and perhaps maybe we can ask our state representatives and Blake Tillery next week. Today is supposed to be Boaters Day at the state capitol. Boaters Day, okay?
With the B?
With the B, like a boater, like a boat
gotcha.
that goes down the way. Now, we've talked about this with them, and they've mentioned it. What about boaters' free access to water in Georgia? And so maybe that's where we can talk to them about next week about this. I know we've talked about, the rights of property owners if people go up the sloughs and the creeks up and off the river and stuff like that. Who has the right to that water in there that as it narrows, it goes off the river and creeks and so forth. So that, but it's Boaters Day today at the state capitol. I guess the folks are up there talking about free access to water in Georgia, and we'll see what all comes out of that. And so we got all that going on. Wayne County baseball this afternoon at 5:30 at Howard Bowarn Field, the first region game of the year taking on Burke County. And then the Falcons have got a new quarterback, Kirk Cousins, coming in, smiling from ear to ear with that $100 million check in his, well, soon tomorrow be in his pocket. And then possibly another $80 million on top of that, based, I guess, on performance and all that kind of good stuff. And and then, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars have, is it Mac Jones? Who's the quarterback coming down from New England?
Yeah, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones going to be one of the backup quarterbacks there for Trevor. And so things hopefully looking up for our two favorite teams here in South Georgia. That's the Atlanta Falcons and Jacksonville Jaguars.
The draft kicks in April, so still got the draft to go through.
Still got the draft, and Bob doesn't know what to think about Russell Wilson going to his Pittsburgh Steelers. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Yeah, we'll find out this season, Bob.
He's a better backup than Mason Rudolph.
You think he'll be a backup to Pickens?
Pickett, yeah. I believe Kenny Pickett will still win the starting job.
Pickett.
Yeah.
I get a difference between Pickens and Pickett.
They're only paying Russell Wilson $1 million. So.
Well, he's getting paid $38 by Denver.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they couldn't lose. Only have to pay the guy $1 million because he's getting paid $38 by Denver.
He can stand there, hold a clipboard and earbuds. Watch
No,
Kenny
they don't hold
Pickett
clipboards anymore. They hold those electronic tablets. Didn't you see Tom Brady throw one down a couple years ago?
And if he doesn't like that, like I said, only paying $1 million, he can walk out the door. So.
Walk out the door. I'm still getting paid $38 million by Denver. Is that the worst trade in the history of football?
What's that?
When Denver got Russell Wilson from Seattle. That's got to be the worst.
The worst trade is the Herschel Walker trade. Still the worst trade.
Still the worst trade?
Yeah, still the worst trade.
Yeah, well, they run neck and neck from what people say.
Dallas Cowboys got rich on that trade.
Yes, they did.
It lobbied them into 3 Super Bowl champions. So, that was the worst trade. All right, what else is going on,
Bob? Anything on your mind this morning? What's going on?
That's it. City's got their work session, their retreat, final day of the retreat's going on at City Hall. The school board meets today. Hopefully the school board will approve our new football coach. Everybody in Savannah says we got a new football coach, but no one in Wayne County has yet to say we got a new football coach. So hopefully they're going to vote him in. It'd be a sad story if they vote him out.
He
already gave up his job in Savannah Country Day.
What are the odds on him getting accepted tonight? 100%?
Probably 50-50. I mean, where's the press release? Where's pending board approval? He's our new guy.
Yeah,
how hard is that to do?
I guess they just didn't want to do that, Bob.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. You got to ask them.
Why are we letting Savannah give our news?
Well, yeah, they know more than we do.
Yeah, I just hope they approve it.
I'm sure they will.
Let's hope. Let's keep our fingers crossed. He should already be here. He should be meeting players and everything else.
He can't do that until he's officially hired. He hasn't been officially hired yet, Bob. When he's officially hired an employee of the Board of Education, then they'll make all kinds of comments on it. Just live with it, Bob. No reason to get your feathers rustled because they won't say anything.
Old saying, you can't fix stupid. Just stupid.
Those are Bob Morgan's opinions. It's not necessarily reflect the opinions of Jesup.
I can't wait to meet the guy and say, man, how'd you like the welcome we gave you? Not much of one.
Oh, it'll be a big welcome, Bob.
Yeah, whatever.
It'll be a big welcome.
I just hope they vote for it tonight.
I'm sure they will.
The story's not going to be there tonight. I thought it was going to be there tonight.
Well, he may not be. He doesn't have to be there in person to get hired.
Well, it'd be nice for him to be there.
Yeah.
I heard he told him not to come because they're going to have all that controversy about everything else. So they told him to stay away.
Stay away. We got all this controversial stuff. What controversial stuff?
Vote on that $12 million facility.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, somehow the $7 million ag center that was approved by the voters last year in terms of what the East Loss was going to. Oh, we're going to have a $7 million ag center. We're going to have a $3 to $4 million ROT. And somehow that $7 million figure from just a year ago, so you can't say it's inflation, from just a year ago, bounced up to $12 million in 1 year, less than a year. And so you get to hear all about that. That ought to be a fun meeting tonight, Bob. But you're going to be broadcasting a baseball game.
I'm sure it'll still be going on by the time the baseball games are. These baseball games have been quick, so. Plus, it starts at 5:30.
It starts at 5:30,
start till 6.
You should be able to get all the information on that. We'll have all the report on tonight's school board meeting on our local news tomorrow morning around 7:15. All right, Bob, have a good day.
Okay.
All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, brought to you by Oak Winnan Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Vans Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.